mosquito nets. And then one of the issues of interest in that tender is how Shobika submitted their bid bond, because the main complaint was that they submitted their bid bond outside the tendering period. So when investigations are going on, the Deputy President
Hang on a second, just give us a moment.
Yeah, so can I proceed?
Yes, please proceed. And if you don't mind, post the link again. I meant to let people know that about the links too. Thanks.
So I'm saying, for example, the front runner now being either Oscar Sudi or, I don't know, Charlene Ruto, whoever, one of the two, ascends to the deputy presidency right now, they are essentially considered to have served less than a full term. Because if you serve more than a full term,
were dismissed.
Who is speaking?
Gabriel, please wait. I'll give you the mic when it's your turn. Just give me a second.
So if there's more than 2.5 years to go, they are considered to have served a full term. So whoever comes in as deputy president right now is considered to have served a full term. So the question I was asking Baraka is, at this point, because the president nominates and then the National Assembly vets and either allows or disallows this person as the deputy president, what exactly is the role of the IEBC in that specific procedure? Because it seems to me the law is quite straightforward and quite clear. Mweru, that is presently my understanding, right? Other than the fact that we need the IEBC for other purposes, for example, to recall these MPs, and in the case of if at all there's a referendum coming, because, for example, extension of term limits most definitely is going to need a referendum. We need the IEBC for that, but not necessarily for assumption of office of a deputy president. That is my understanding of the law. So that is where we were, Mweru, when the space fell.
Yeah, I sent Baraka a link so he can join us.
It is
Fred.
my turn.
No, it's not your turn. It's Professor Fred, then you're next.
Okay. Let me talk.
Fred, Gabriel, just a moment. You're supposed to speak after Fred. You just came in after him. So, Professor Fred, do you want to take the mic?
Okay.
Let him talk first, and then I come after him.
No, it's your turn. Go ahead. We have order here, so you speak. Then he's after you.
Okay. Let me hii sasa mabonga, kuna hii story tena imetokea, sijui Mashujaa Day, sijui ilikuwa tuende Uhuru Park. Alafu tena Morara ametoka, sijui anatupanga kwenda Narok. Sasa which is which? Alafu hii story sijui tunaenda Narok, sijui tunaenda watu. Sasa mbona Morara anakuja after hii time yenye tumebakisha like 3 days ndo tuenda up, tena ameanza confusion. Alafu na hii story za Adani hao waseni kama wanatubeba ujinga. Unajua Ruto amekuwa like anatubeba kama watoto. Mbona like inafika ile time yenye like we need to discuss those things, ndo anatuletea vitu like ile mtoto akianza kulia unamletea maziwa na umbembeleza, after that alale ufanye venye unataka. It's high time tusimame. Hii time na hii kitu wacha tufanye for one and for all. Juu hatutakuwa, unaona hii space like imekuwa watu wengi ni mablogger wanakuja na fake news like kutuchanganya. Kama tunafanya kama tunaenda Uhuru Park, tuende huko na main agenda like kama ni kureject hii government iko ni kureject, alafu tuende huko. Sasa tena Morara, sasa sijui hapo mabonga wendo utatupea direction like tunafaa kwenda wapi juu tena Narok ni mbali, wengine tuko kama mimi like currently niko Embu, so like tena uanze kuniambia nienda hadi Narok, sasa si hapo ni long way, sasa sijui sita make like juu tulikuwa tumeagree ni Uhuru Park. Sasa hapo maybe untupe direction, alafu wase bana wacha tushow hiyo day ikifika tujitokeze, is high time tujitoe nje. Unajua kuna wase tuko X space tuna tweet lakini kutokea kwa ground sisi hao watu ndo tunatokea, lakini kushow up online nyinyi mna tweet lakini ikifika ile time support. Unajua mabonga uko na influence, like unaweza influence watu kama that ama watu like watu unaweza influence kuja nao watu. Mimi au Kwembo, mimi ni youth, ni student. Sasa tumeplan like hiyo day lazima tutafika Uhuru Park. Nimepanga wasee wangu like hiyo siku tutatokea in a good number to show that atuko na hii government. The government saa hii nasikia kuna tu niliona like Adani deal is like going to end, yani imefika mwisho, lakini saa hii wametuwekea nini hii kitu ya Gachagua Impeachment. Saa hii tuko kwa TV tuna follow, saa hii tumeachana na hii Adani, ndio hizo ketrako zinaenda. Umeona wase hakuna opposition kabisa saa hii, like ni sisi mayouth tujiongelee juu hakuna opposition. Umeona leo akina Orengo walikuwa wanatufaitia hapo, ndio saa hii wana protect huyo Ruto. So like yani sisi mayouth like tena wache tukae na unit juu unaona tweets zingine like hao wanatupea direction, wana divert mind. So like saa hii tena waanze kutoa like tuende Narok. So what si wasi wengi wataanza kusema like already nimeona hapo wengine wakitweet like Morara like anatucheza, which hata mimi nimeona like anatucheza. So like wacha tukae na consistent like tukae na, unajua mimi niko Embu, like mabonga mko Nairobi, wasi wengine mko Nairobi, kila mtu acha afanye njia yake, lakini yemu agenda ni Ruto must go. Hiyo tu, si eti wewe unatumia njia yako lakini ina bad way, huyu anatumia hivi ina bad way. Emu ni Ruto must go. Mimi huko nimemobilize watu na kuambia ground iko sawa, alafu wase hii time hii kienda, unajua 2027 like unajua jamaa next maybe akiingia kuna vitu like ataweka vitu mingi sana. Sasa hiyo unaona wanataka hiyo waweke sijui president sijui magavana 7 years term, imagine that. So like we must in all, kama hatutafika 2027 lazima tuanze tumtoe before 2027, but ikichance tumefika 2027 what is will be our aim? Unajua youths tuko influence, like mimi kwetu familia yetu like okay, kuna mama babangu like wamezeka kidogo, kunao mashoshi, unajua hao pia lazima to influence like hizo kura ndo tunataka. Unajua wamama wao ni wale watu wenye ukikuja tu siku moja like convince, na Ruto is good on that. Yule mtu atakuja tu convince acheze na mind yake kumpea kura. Alafu story na civil education ni muhimu sana, sijui kama mliona huyu jamaa anaitwa juu mwenye Waluke, uliona watu huko mashinani, yani watu hawajui kitu kabisa, like wana celebrate huyu jamaa ameachiliwa ako free, meaning that wale watu civil education ijafika huko, that is why hawajui. Na hiyo ndo picture hata huko mashinani. Mimi utokanga Kisii, lakini though current term in Embu, wasi huko like huko mashinani wasi wako dim kabisa, hawajui hata kitu inaendelea. Naweza ndo huko mashinani umuulize kuna hii inject party, mtu ajui kabisa. Like sasa ndo hiyo tunafaa like hii kitu ya civil education, hii kitu ni muhimu. Like ukipata chance kama mabonga, nimeona unaenda Kiminini, inject ambia wase like mentor wase hapo mayouth. Jua mayouth tukuona energy wamente like akienda jijini aanze na kwao aanze na hapo familia yao, like yani yenda hadi ndani like ndo hata hiyo ikifika maybe tusipo succeed now, ikifika maybe 2027 tutakuwa in a good place like ya kumtoa huu mzee. Juu mzee anajua yeye hahitaji maybe youths, like of course kuna mablog anaona ni mayouths huku, lakini wanatweet against us wako ile pande ingine. So like sahii amu yake ni atafute sasa, unajua akienda huko mashinani huyu jamaa atamwaga pesa before tujafika huko mashinani tu inject. Unajua ukiinject kabisa upe ule mama mkongwe civil education, ai si ule mama, unajua wale pia ndo kura, na ukiona hawezi change hiyo ID hata ficha juu hii ndo kitu tuko nao bana 2027. Mimi nimemaliza shule huku bana, ni smoki na choma huku bana, hakuna kazi, una apply huku na huku hakuna kitu like. Lakini mimi kitu nataka kufanya kutoka hati yangu ni ile like mi do civil education, mi siku huku like na interact na watu like 100 people per day juu mi usanga smoki samo huku like wanafunzi. So naendelea kuinject, mtu akija customer lazima nimwambie like reject kila kitu reject, like wasi hata huku ukikuja huku Embu ombo, nilisikianga mlikuanga Embu huko, lakini though hamkukuja huku kuja hapa level 5 Embu huku, watu walikuwa wanataka mkuje sana Mabonga ile time mlikuwa na Murara huko chini, watu walikuwa wanataka sana mkuje muinject juu watu huko ndo narrative. Mi bonga nao wase, kuna stage hapo ya magari I do tuna inject enda hadi mashinani na tuko na ground. Saa hii ni tuache hii confusion, platform iko sawa juu watu wameelewa what is going on, na watu sio wajinga. Watu huku narrative ni Ruto ni mwongo, reject Ruto, alidanganya huku. Niko na mama wa kibanda wa mama mboga like wame reject kabisa, wanasema Ruto. So kitu first thing tuache confusion please, ni tupewa direction which is which. Hii kitu sijui tena mna divert mind yetu kuja huku nini. Unajua tuna deal na mtu mwenye ako sharp mind, ako na kila kitu, so like tusipojipanga atatupe, alafu tushow kwa ground. Hii story sijui tuko online most ni kutweet kwa ground. Nikikuuliza yani umeachieve nini kwa ground, okay umeweka wase wangapi, like kama hiyo 28 Mashujaa utaenda na wase wangapi, utabeba wewe ndo una tweet hata hakuna kwa ground, huwezi show, uja mobilize kitu, ufanye civil education huko kwa nyumba tu na lapi na simu, lakini ni kutweet. So okay, I think my time is up, acha nipe wengine nafasi. Mi ni Gabriel Morara, account ni mpya like nataka followers kidogo, mnaweza ni follow though I've been these sides Kioti na kufollow sana, Mweru na wafollow sana, Wanji yani na wafollow. Nyi guys ni watu wazuri, akina Fundu Atamos, Baba Jaki na following sana, akina Nonini. So like pia hapa mfollow, tusukume kitu hadi mwisho. Bye, have a good time, tupe wengine nafasi. Asante Weru.
Yeah, thank you for your submission, Gabriel. I think about this, I'm just airing my perspective, and everybody has a right to have their own perspective. But I think in the course of this 2 months of being in the spaces, I think we've all come to a consensus that we need to have not just one person. The movement is not Mara, it's not about Mara, it's not about Eric Omondi. But as of today, my point of view is there's millions of people in Nairobi. You guys go to Uhuru Park. Even if you do not live in Nairobi and you want to go to Uhuru Park, go to Uhuru Park. That's great. That's what you should do. Go to Uhuru Park. Do what you want to do. If you're going to make it to Uhuru Park, go. There's no confusion. That's your plan. Go there. The plan is still on. But for the people that cannot make it to Uhuru Park, the movement does not only revolve around Nairobi. There was a previous speaker we had here who said, going forward, this is a lesson for us. We should organize 47 counties. We should have 47 events. So I don't have an issue with Morara going to Narok. His team is about 10 people. So 10 people that don't make it to Uhuru Park is not a big deal. Let them go to Narok. I hope they have a crowd of 100,000 people over there. Then we'll We're injecting from different parts of Kenya, but we cannot just assume and not, not acknowledge other people who are part of the movement that cannot make it to Nairobi. So that is my perspective on this. As long as the message is clear, we're on the same page about the message. The movement is not about Mariah. He doesn't have to come to Uhuru Park. Let him go to wherever he wants to go. But for the rest of you that want to go there. Me, I'm having severe FOMO. I would love to be in Uhuru Park. I'm dying because I won't make it. But there's no issue. They say this movement needs to function like a tree where you have branches and you have roots. Me personally, I am happy because Ruto cannot host Mashujaa Day in Nairobi because you guys have taken Nairobi from him. He can't go there. It's not his base anymore. He has to go somewhere else. So we're still winning. We're still winning in very small ways, but they're mighty ways. So I think everybody should be at liberty. If you're in Embu, if you're in Kiambu and you cannot make it to Nairobi, you can have your own thing there. Let's do it all over the place. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant. So I don't think that this is an issue to be. It's not about him. It's not about Mara. We need to have 100,000 Maras as part of this movement, and everybody plays their part. So I think the next speaker, Gabriel, is done. Wanjira, I saw your hand up, and then I'll have Josephine speak after you because she had her hand up before the space dropped.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I had seen Pareno Solanka here, who I think works very closely with Morara. He might have had something to tell us. But I also see Baraka is here. So I don't know whether Baraka can remember the question I had asked. But with utmost humility, if you will allow Baraka perhaps to answer the question, and then perhaps we can move from there.
Yeah, please go ahead, Baraka. And for the new listeners, Wanjira, do you mind just giving us a synopsis of the question for the people who are not there?
The question I was asking, I think, Baraka, now that you're here, and just to refresh your memory and others, is, according to Article 149, which I read here moments earlier, the nomination of a deputy, where a vacancy in the office of the deputy president arises, Article 149 seems to be quite straight as to how to fill that vacancy, in terms of, within 14 days, the president will nominate someone, and then the name is going to be forwarded to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly will vet, and if they allow for that person to proceed, then that person is going to be sworn in. It sounds that simple. So the question was what the role of the IEBC is in that specific procedure in the context of 149. Not that we do not need the IEBC in general as a country, we actually do, because there's so much work they're coming in to do. But in terms of the
kidogo tu badilisha hizi mitambo hapa bwana kiasi.
Yeah, what does the IEBC have to do with that? Baraka.
Nini mbaya jameni?
It looks like Baraka fell off. Josephine, do you want to go ahead in the meantime?
Thank you very much, Mweru. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, wherever you are from the timelines. I believe the others are in morning and others in the afternoon. So I salute you guys from wherever you are. Personally, I want to start with the issue that has just been brought up by the previous speaker. We need to say the truth is, Murara, we are aware now he has been bought, and we need to stand firm for ourselves. Let's stop putting so much hopes on people. Let us give opportunity to everyone, and we follow what we are doing. We have been, for the whole of this week, we have been trying to sensitize people so that we meet in Uhuru Park, and now he wakes up today, and because he thinks that he is the only person, he starts telling people the other things that we do not understand. kindly, whoever is following Morara has formed his party, and he never incorporated us in the party. He never brought it up so that we deliberate. So for that reason, personally, I don't support Morara, and I'm still saying that 20th, all the roads are heading to Uhuru Park. I'll be there. Mimi ni shujaa, wewe ni shujaa. Kama wewe ni shujaa na unajua hauko upande wa serikali, tunakutana pale Uhuru Park. Tutakuwa tuko pale, tukikosa mtu wa kutuongoza, mimi nitasimama. I'll be the people's president. After all, Raila alisimama na kaapishwa people's president and nothing happened. So we also need to have a people's president. Upuzi wa Morara kuweza kutuangaisha, ignore him kindly. Fellow Kenyans, let's ignore Morara like he's not existing. Let the members of his party follow him. Let him go have the meeting with his members of his party. Because we are dealing with serious matters here, and Morara has just decided, because he's just telling us this has been happening. After telling us this has happened, so what? You're not telling us things are happening without giving us solution. You are not helping us. A time has come when we need to get the solution, and it's still buying time, fellow Kenyans.
Josephine, let's not bash each other here. Just tell us your perspective. But we don't need to.
I'm not bashing him. I'm not putting things right, Mweru. What I'm saying, we are dealing with these serious matters right now. We have serious cases in court. We have issues of people who are dying because they have been deprived their health insurances, and we have education which has been also been tampered with, and we are here seated just keeping quiet, trying to move here and there. Actually, I think we were very clear when we said we are going to Uhuru Park, because we want to deal completely with the issues that are affecting us indirectly. So that when Ruto is coming to Kwale, we are meeting in Uhuru Park. Let him see that we are the people and we have the nation with us. And that's why we started shooting, saying that we need 1 million plus to be in Uhuru Park. Can we kindly for once do that? Because we are in shit. And whatever we are doing, we are allowing Ruto to continue being the person he wants to be. Because I can assure you, the way he's rushing the parliament to impeach Gachagua, once Gachagua is impeached, Ruto will be a permanent president, and he may even decide never to appoint a deputy president. And if at all he does appoint one, he will appoint the only yes man to him. So who will only be supporting him? I will not be surprised even to see Mr. Ndwale being appointed as the deputy president. Fellow Kenyans, I will not be surprised. Because Mr. Ndwale has shown that he can misuse our defense forces to go and do what they're not supposed to do, and it can hold water. Can we wake up from our deep sleep, fellow Kenyans, and we stand firm for what we can see and the damage which is coming to our country? And always let's remember, we need to remain united for one purpose. Our enemy is Ruto. Now anybody who has been involved by Ruto akienda, let's continue keeping the focus on the ball. Let's not be distracted by anyone. Kindly, fellow Kenyans, I beg you, we are in a critical condition of our country right now. We are in a serious crisis. And let me tell you, anyone who denies you good health has denied you everything. Because when you are unwell, you cannot work. You cannot do anything for yourself. So you'll have to depend on them. And this man is trying to kill our parents. Remember, our parents, they have blood sugar, they have pressure, they have everything. They needed this medical cover as early as yesterday. These our parents are the same parents who are retiring right now, and they are getting shocked because you stayed for 10 years, you have not gotten your pension. So actually, even if you did have the pressure and the blood sugars, now they will actually catch up with you after you have retired because of the frustrations you are going through the government. Can we wake up and ignore Murara and move on, kindly, fellow Kenyans? I'm not bashing Murara. I know there are people who are diehards for Murara, but I'm just being realistic. Right now, we don't need any single entity. We need all of us. We need the input of all of us. And anyone who is trying to deprive you from keeping focus to the ball, kindly ignore that person. Even if it's me, ignore me. Let's move forward, fellow Kenyans. Can we stand firm for our country, please? Please. And if you know what is happening, then let's stand.
Josephine, my apologies. I have a question for you. I agree with you. The original plan was Nairobi, Uhuru Park. But what is your take on the people in Kenya who are not going to make it to Uhuru Park and they're living far and, they can't make it there? Please encourage them. What is your message for them? People who cannot make it to Uhuru Park, they're in their own locations. What is your message for them? Because we cannot just
Mweru, even personally today, I had to gather people at my place of work today, all the doctors and the health workers, water. And I told them, can we plan on how we are moving to going to Uhuru Park? Because if you are seated here and you are a doctor, you are a nurse, and you are trying to attend to a patient, while you know that you are not, the next minute when you are unwell, you cannot be treated. We are lying to ourselves. We need to stand up for the truth and what we are suffering from. Because right now, as a medic, I am busy treating somebody, yet when I fell sick, I cannot acquire treatment. I'm calling everybody. Take this as a serious sign that if we don't stand for ourselves, we are going to die. Wherever you are, even if you cannot afford to go by yourself, mobilize even 2 people, 3 people who can afford. Changieni hata kama ni mtu mmoja wawili wafike. Let's have at least 1 million plus in Uhuru Park. Kindly, that's my prayer to everybody who is listening, and we should be ambassadors of this. We need to reach to all institutions, talk to the students, let them package themselves, and let us occupy Uhuru Park in totality. Please, that's my prayer. Thank you so much, Madam Mweru.
Thank you, Josephine, for your submission. I agree with you 100%. But my take is, if you guys are in other locations and places in Kenya where you cannot make it to Uhuru Park, you guys, wherever you are, you can gather there. It's a memorial. Mashujaa Day is a memorial. And you can memorialize from there, and you can inject from wherever location you're from. But the goal is to get people to Uhuru Park. I agree with you. So the next speaker is Fabish.
Yeah, I had spoken earlier, but there is something that I want to bring to attention. If there is something that we cannot ignore, is that we need one central place, even as we are saying. Yeah, even there is. I just got information from Kwale. As president will be holding the Mashujaa Day in Kwale, but people around Ukunda, there is a ground called Showground, and there are some people, the movement, they will be holding their own at the Ukunda Showground. So anyone who is around Msambweni, Kwale, Matuga, please kindly converge at Ukunda Showground. And when we are talking about the Uhuru Park and Morara, it is something that we cannot ignore, because we need at least some logistical arrangement at the Uhuru Park. We cannot ignore that when we bestowed Morara to be our team leader, or to amplify our voices, there are some things that we contributed, including the sound system. So the reason why we want to hold him to accountable is that we gave you support, and we gave you all the things that you needed. So if you think that you want to work on your own, it is better you let us know. We cannot curtail him. He has his own constitutional right to choose whatever side you want to choose and to do the activities that you want to do. But the voices, now when we say that we converge at Uhuru Park to be our central place, like now, we need logistical support. Though I know in this, between today and tomorrow, we will have communication with the KOT, with other people like TG, Tony Gashoka, and other, the people that are supporting the movement. Then we can have, the logistical arrangement on even if we are going to erect a dice at the Uhuru Park. Of course, we need things like sound system. We will need things like, first aid, because the place when it is crowded, or perhaps we might need the medics and all that. So there are those logistical arrangements, because this is not a maandamano kwamba tunaenda tuta converge pale, we will inject pale. So there are some logistical arrangement that we need and we can never ignore at this juncture. Kwa hivyo sio tu kwamba tu tunasema then yes, of course, wale watu ambao mwezi kufika Uhuru Park, wale ambao mko Meru, mko far places, mko Isiolo, mko wapi, you can converge at the counties level. But wale ambao the Nairobi and the environs karibu hapo will converge that Uhuru Park, na hata wale watu ambao mnaweza toka mbali if you can travel tufike Uhuru Park. But now we will need to discuss about the logistical arrangement na zile vitu ambao tunahitaji, including hizo nimesema medics and other things that will be needed to make it happen. So, but I want to agree with Josephine. At this point, Morara should be listening to the movement, not the millions listening to one person. Lazima asikie kwamba sisi tunasema nini. Nairobi is a central place. We have chased Ruto out of Nairobi. So we cannot chase someone and then we chase also ourselves. Tunamkimbiza Nairobi alafu tena sisi wenyewe tunakimbia hiyo Nairobi. It does not make any sense.
Thanks, Fabish. Also, let me mention tomorrow we have a case, a Adani case in court. This is the Tony Gachagua team and Degoa and a few other people. The case is supposed to be at 10:30 a.m. Wanjira has posted a link on the comment section of this space. She recommends that you log in around 10:15 to ensure that you have access to it. So as much as we're fired up about Mashujade on Sunday, let's not forget that we cannot get distracted from the fact that the Adani deal is now in court, and we need to also pay attention to that. Next speaker is MC. MC, go ahead. Also, before you talk, I saw a thing where Mariah is hosting a space at 11 a.m. So if you have an issue with how things were handled today and you have something to say about him, just go to that space and say it to him. Because I'm tired of this movement revolving around one person only. It's not about Mariah, we don't care. He goes to Narok, fine, go to Narok. But for the rest of you, if you want to go to Uhuru Park. So proceed, MC.
Thank you. My first point, I'm just getting back to where you're just from. On Morara's case and Mashujaa event, the initial information that we had was that it was to happen at Uhuru Park. But Morara has came with another option, though amefanya timing late. Hiyo timing ni kama ile kutu confuse. So I don't know how genuine he is, but it's okay. We don't have to look at one person at a time. Mama tufai kufanya meetings zetu place moja pekee. Tunafaa kukua all over. Personally talking, mimi niko Kisumu. I wish hata kungekuwa na ingine Kisumu. But my worry ni hiyo timing ya Morara. If he had a plan to do it, because for now it seems like it's something to distract us. If he had a plan to do that one, he'd have done it earlier ama angetoa hiyo information mapema. Lakini sasa ni last minute, kuna watu wengine watakuwa confused. But wenye wako Nairobi tufike hii yenye tulijua kwanza. Wenye wako huko kwenye naenda wafike huko. Wenye wako huko Ukunda kwenye nasikia wafike huko. Isikwe ni place moja ndo tunaangalia. Isikwe ni place moja. So usipige kelele ati Morara amekuja amepeleka kwingine. No, just be where you can be. We fika kwenye unaweza fika. Kama ni Nairobi fika. Kama ni huko Narok kwa Morara fika. Kama ni Mombasa fika. Ikue target ni moja. Secondly, kuna history ya Gachagua. Manze, this is none of our business. I'm not talking bad on it, but si biashara yetu. Ni kutukanganya tu. Story ya Gachagua sasa imekuwa headline. It's hitting on the top to an extent. Watu wamesahau story na hizo chief na sha. Hiyo mambo ya hosi na nini watu wamesahau. Watu wanaangalia tu Gachagua. School fee watu wamesahau. Hiyo mambo na Adani watu wamesahau. Hata Raila amegeuka akasupport Adani, hakuna mtu anaongelelea. Alafu the third story ni mambo na Ruto ku extend term. Unaona Ruto akimaliza na Gachagua hivi. Guys, this is very serious. Akimaliza na Gachagua ata appoint huyo deputy. After me appoint deputy, atapeleka hiyo motion ya ku extend terms. Na ki extend term anaongeza ikue 7. Na hiyo 7 anaanza fresh. So we'll have like 9 years. Like hii mbili yenye imeenda hiya hata hesabu. He'll start another fresh 7. Other than these two that is already covered. Ataanza new fresh 7. Bana, we need IEBC to recall these people. These people should be recalled bwana. Hatufai kuwa na parliament kama hii bwana. Mbona tunadanganyana huku kwa space? Mbona tunadanganyana? Why are we lying to each other? Like tunaongea tu fiti hapa na ikifika ni time ya action, no one is willing and able to act. What the hell are we gathering here and we can't do something? Bana, let's make moves. The time to make moves hapo June. Mliona vitu ilifanyika. At least you saw how the government responded to our moves. But sahi kila mtu anaongea tu, okay, we talk smart but we don't act. Why are we not even making actions? We don't act. We talk smart for real. Tunabonga fiti, tunaelewana fiti. Hata tuna agree vitu za kufanya, but who does them? Sahi Morara akifanya kitu watu wanalalamika. Morara alijitolea. Akifanya kitu we unalia. Na we mwenyewe chenye unafanya hakuna. Are you normal? Are you in your senses? Bana tuache tukudanganyana bwana. I think I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you for your submission. Next speaker is Ogogu.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Okay, yangu itakuwa machache sana. Mashujaa Day 2024 plans. Uhuru Park, watu wanaenda. Tuli kusema na matendo inakuwa kidogo. Nimekubaliana na huyo ndugu yangu mwenye ameongea kabisa. Hakuna haja ya kuweka space kila siku, kila wiki, jini. Wengine hata ni kama ni duty tu yao tu. We talk much and chenye tunafanya ni kidogo sana. Ruto aliapa anaweka Biblia chini na anafanya kazi. Yeye aliweka Biblia chini akachukua kitabu ya kwaya. Hii kwaya yake imeendelea mpaka inaendelea inaharibu nchi tu. Hakuna chenye inasaidia nayo. So hii maneno ya mashujaa wenye wako Nairobi, enda Uhuru Park. Usikose. Wewe mwenye uko hapa, uko Kitale, uko Kakamega kama mimi, uko Kisumu, uko wapi, wewe tafuta vile unaweza kuwa mahali na watu ufanye investment vile. Hatuwezi fika Uhuru Park sisi wote, we cannot go there all of us. Serikali pia iko na mipango zake tu. So for the people who are within Nairobi, kindly attend the Uhuru Park call, do what is right on that day of 20th. Let us not forget the people, the youthful individuals we lost in June, na wale wote wenye wamekuwa wakikufa kwa hii struggle for internet.
You're having such
What I
trouble
can
hearing
add,
you.
okay. What I can add on top of that, Adani cases Zico, and we know the pilot of Adani and everything that is in Adani case. Let us not just sit back na tuseme vitungu mingi kwa hizi cases kila siku na vitaiti. The best language that Ruto listens to na chenye naogopa kabisa ni maandamano. Ruto naogopa maandamano kama kitu ingine. So if you come back with maandamano, well strategized and organized, tukue tu tumejipanga vizuri na maandamano, mtu atasikia na tutafikisha hii serikali. Lakini all the English that we do say here every day, hakuna hiyo saidia. Mtu ataendelea kuchukua Ruto. Na tena ndiye atakuwa difficult than today. Ruto is getting more worse. Na sisi tunashinda tu na vitungu tu. Tunashinda tu na kusema vitungu tu kwa space. Mtu anaona huyu ndio ndiye ako mbele. Let us leave maneno na Morara. Morara ni Morara kivyake. Vile alikuwa naanza hatukuwa na yeye, amekuwa akiendeleza maneno ya inject. Vile anafanya na anaendeleza shughuli yake, wacha akuwe hivyo. Learn to be your own Morara. Mimi kama uvivu, wacha nikuwe Morara wangu tu kivyangu tu. I inject kila mahali naenda. Kila mtu akuwe serikali kivyake, akuwe president kivyake, I inject kwa podium akipata nafasi yoyote, hata kama ni kwake na familia yake, kwa plot mahali anaishi, inject everywhere. Na hii maneno ya Morara to attack Morara, I'm not defending him. I'm not coming into his defense. But learn to be your own defender. Let your voice be heard. Tunategemea tu mtu mmoja. Sasa leo akikufa tutakuwa tuna blame people. Tuache kuningilia kitu. Tuache kuhanga kwa koti ya Morara. Tuache kuhanga kwa koti ya Rikomondi. You can plan. Wewe mwenye uko hapa unafikisa watu hata kama wewe ni wewe fika uko hapa indoor. Kwa tu doctor wako wa kuinject wewe peke yako.
Hear you. Just drop and come back and add you. It's very noisy. Can we hear from Candid? Candid Truth. All right, my G, go ahead.
Hey, Kate, KOT now. Mweru, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Nataka mi sahi nimechemuka, like I feel so bad. It's not because of Marara, it's not because of anyone. Mi tu nimekasirikia about kila kitu yenye inaendelea sahi. Like some hours ago, nimeona Nelson Amenya amepost some nini hapo. Kuna mama amepoteza mtoto because of she and Sha. Alafu kitu yenye tunaangalia inaendelea saizi ni vitu ya kuimpeach Gachagua, unaona? Like mimi kitu inanikasirisha is not about individuals. Unaona? Sifikiri kitu ingine apart from venye tunaweza call out these MPs. I'm so frustrated. I feel so bad. Like kitu yenye mimi nataka saizi kusikia from hawa wenye tunawaona kama leaders wetu. Wewe Mweru, KOT, kina Nelson Amenya, kina Miguna, all these people were decide tu siku moja na tuseme tunaenda kwa street. Unaona? Hatutaki hizi vitu zingine yenye tunataka, hizi side shows hatutaki kusikia. Mimi kitu yenye mimi nataka kusikia sahi ni tuende street, hakuna kitu ingine yenye inaweza solve hii story. Hata tukisema kesho kuna wenye, tarehe 20 kuna wenye wataenda Narok, kuna wenye wataenda uko Uhuru Park. There is no difference. The only nini yenye itasoti, sisi wote tunajua 24th tulimarch tukaenda, sisi wote tulienda kwa street. Unaona? Na hiyo ndio ni kitu yenye tunajua tu Zakaya anaweza sikiliza kutoka kwetu. Maandamano, hakuna kitu ingine. Tutaongea hapa kila siku, have space kama kawaida. Na hii ni kitu yenye, kama kuna kitu yenye Zakaya anapenda kusikia saa hii, ni kusikia venye mnaongea na mteka action. Alafu mimi shida yangu na Morara ni moja. Mimi na support Morara sana na mimi nilikuwa die hard wa Ruto. Hakuna mtu angeza ni advice kuhusu Ruto. Mpaka ile siku yenye Morara alitokezea, that is when nilikuwa convinced like nafaa ku leave this man. Unaona? But saizi kitu yenye tu inani disappoint about Morara. Okay, Morara ako na option yake ya kwenda penye anataka kwenda. Mimi sina issue na hiyo. Na mimi pia mimi na decide mimi naweza nifanyie Loret. I can mourn those people wenye tuliwapoteza in any place that I am. No, there is no problem with that. The problem is ana communicate saizi. It is inakaa late kidogo na alafu inakaa confusing. Ile siku yenye Rikomondi alisema yake Occupy Uhuru Park, Morara angekuja na yake na aseme sisi tutakuwa tunaenda mahali fulani, na communicate aseme this thing, kila mtu aweke county yake. Tuseme let's have in 47 counties kila mtu akue na yake. Let's mourn this point different, because si ati ni Nairobi peke yake watu walipoteza maisha. Kuna watu wenye Eldoret waliumia, kuna wenye waliumia sijui ni Kisii ama ilikuwa wapi, but in different places of the country. Actually ni Nairobi ndio watu wengi walipoteza maisha, sikatai. But haimaanishi wenye wako diaspora waezi mourn those people. wenye wako different counties hawawezi mourn those people. What I'm trying to say is kila mtu anaweza mourn those people in whatever place they are, but the problem I have with Morara ni hiyo communication yenye anajaribu kumake sahi when it is some like 3 days to occupy Uhuru Park. That thing it's bad actually, but according to me, yeye kuenda Narok si mbaya, tunaweza mourn kila place yenye tuko, but the problem ni hiyo communication. So people see him like anajaribu ku divert attention ya like ni kama divide and rule, you know. So hii mimi kitu yenye mimi naweza advice, it's not even advice, naweza sema kimimi, kama ingekuwa ni vizuri Morara make another communication, aseme okay, what we will do, watu wenye wanaungana huko Narok waungane huko, mimi nitapitia Uhuru Park, you know, apitie Uhuru Park aseme yake yenye anataka kusema, then he later join those people in Narok. But hii kitu actually mimi nimefollow Morara for the longest time kabisa, na na feel vibaya sana, naweza kuwa nimetoka kwa venye anasemanga kila siku unatoka.
IG, I apologize for interrupting you. Morara is hosting a space at 11 a.m. So I would advise you to go there and express this to him, because by telling us, there's nothing we can do about it. But I agree with you, and I agree with everybody's sentiments in response to the approach and what happened today. But me personally, I look at this as a lesson for all of us to learn, because I believe that the goal is for the movement to grow. How do we grow from what is happening today? Now we know next time we need to coordinate for 47 counties. So let this be a lesson for us. But he's hosting a space at 11 a.m. I don't agree with the how he handled the whole thing. I don't agree with it. But he's hosting a space at 11 a.m. If you have anything or any issues about him, go to his space and express them. But the movement is not about him. Mashujaa Day is not about more.
Exactly. So thank you for that. That is, nilikuwa najaribu ku-express to about hiyo story ya approach ya Morara, but about the movement, mimi kitu naweza sema for now, ni twende to street. That is all for now. And thank you guys. Thank you KOT for, nimeona KOT ile effort amejaribu kumake. I really thank you for that. And I will really appreciate you each and every day. Thank you so much guys, let's push on. Na kama inawezekana tuweke hii maandamano ikuwe as early as now. Sasa hii kila kitu imechemka. Tunaweza kutanisha historia ya impeachment ya Gachagua, tuunganishe pamoja na ya She and Sha, tuunganishe na Adani. Sijui nimesikia huko airport nini Mombasa pia nimesikia wame nationalize hiyo story, like vitu mingi na happen. Tukiunganisha hii yote saizi, man, it's going to be bigger than the other one. So thank you so much and God bless you. I'll be listening to what you'll be viewing.
Thank you. I appreciate your submission. Candid, can you please go ahead? You dropped off. Candid, go ahead. All right, Kenya, go ahead. Kenny.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Oh, you can hear me. Good evening. Yeah, I know, Mweru, you have, I'm very sorry you have called me several times. I was busy doing other things. But I've also heard you mention that you are dissuading people from mentioning Morara. But kindly allow me to say one or two things. Kindly allow me. And what I want to say is that we really need to come to a point whereby we call a spade a spade. And even in this movement, I would wish all of us, you people, to open your eyes, to really be able to evaluate people, to evaluate their actions and their conduct, to be able to interrogate every move they take and whatever they do. Because I would really want to urge us, it is not good for us people to continue following people blindly and being being sycophants. because this is what is really destroying the politics of Kenya. Because you remember, like Ruto, there's a time when he had an event, and he had Mama Mboga there and the motorbike person there, and the whole event was pomp and color. But after they had finished the event, some of you maybe could have noted that the Hussein pushed that Mama Mboga aside. And you know, that is something that if we all took note of, we will not be here crying because of their behavior, because of Ruto. Kindly, let us not just follow people. Know the people we are following. Let us be able to really know, because leadership is not about sycophants. It's not about somebody who is a good orator, or somebody who is very charismatic, or somebody who is very flamboyant, or somebody who is let's look at people's characters kindly, because I know at this point most of you could be saying the movement is leaderless. Others are very strongly saying that Morara is their leader. But even as you maybe will come a point of agreement of who will be the leader, let us not look at the person who is very loud, somebody who is speaking a lot, or somebody who is a good orator. Look at somebody's character. Kindly, let's look at people's characters. Because even as much as you people are trying to say that the issue is not about Morara, kindly just look at what he's saying. He has changed the whole theme, because he's saying that watu waende wafagie. Na after fagiering, you post a video. So it's not about heroes anymore. And you know, when somebody, even if whatever he's saying, maybe he could be having a point, but the best thing is for him to call his other leaders behind the tent waongee, because the respect should be there and honoring what other people are doing. And most of all, as I've always insisted, unity is very, very important for this movement. If we are not going to move together, this thing is not going to go anywhere. We really have to encourage unity. Let's stop this issue of blindly following people and getting so fanatical about people to the point that even when they are corrected, we start insulting the person who is correcting them. Because this movement is ours. If it fails, we are going to fail, and we are going to get depressed. We are going to really, we are all going to feel bad. So let us be very careful to look at the red flags and call them out and tell that person, for me, I don't spare Morara. You can look at my tweets. You can look at my tweets. You are free to do that. It's not that I'm speaking here because he's not here. I always call him out wherever he blunders. And he has been committing very, very many blunders. Because like right now, whether we like it or not, no matter how much you want to sugarcoat it, he's sabotaging Uhuru Park. He's clearly sabotaging Uhuru Park. And this one should not be allowed. And why I'm insisting on this point, let us check the leaders. Let us look at the heart of the person we want to lead us. How does he relate with other team members? How does he treat his team members? How does he speak to them? Does he listen? Does he follow advice? Because there are very many things. I've been seeing so many red flags. And if you want, you can go to my tweets. I've been seeing so many flags, even like this Fagia. There's somebody in the X space when he was asking people which name they should use for the party. There were majority of people really wanted the Fagia thing.
My apologies. I agree with you. I mean, there's things he's doing that are questionable. But at the end of the day, like I said, he's having a space. Please go and let him know.
Now I am talking to the people in this particular space, because I have to caution. I have to caution people, because I don't want 1 month, 2 months later for people to realize we didn't see these things. So I'm not even addressing Morara here. I always address him. I'm talking to the people that we really need to open our eyes to see the people who are, because even him being a leader, he's declared himself as a leader. There's no democracy, because even if Gen Zs have to come to a point of choosing leaders, it has to be done democratically, my friends. You can't wake up one day and you declare yourself as a GNC leader. Surely we should call out a spade a spade. So I'm talking to the people here. And personally, I've really been supporting him. Very, 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 very much. And I've been very happy about his boldness and his braveness. But a good leader is not about bravery alone. There's so many things to look at. Because like Kibaki did a lot for this country. But he used to be called General Kegwaya, a coward. But look at the things he did. And he was not a dictator. He was a person who delegated a lot. And see what he did, the many things he did. So what I'm trying to tell us here who are in this space is that let us be very careful. Because don't follow somebody because he's promising you a lot of so many goodies. Even Ruto did the same. Don't follow somebody because he's a good orator. Even Ruto is an impeccable orator. Let us look at the character of this person. Let us look at their background. Who are these people? Where have they come from? How are they relating with us? How especially is he relating with the other? Because there are so many influencers in this movement. How is he relating with them? Because there are some things that they are not even supposed to come to the space. They should be handled behind the tent so that the followers cannot get confused. Okay? Okay, thank you for listening to me.
Thanks for your submission. I appreciate it. Next person speaking is Dennis. Go ahead. Dennis, do you hear us? All right. So Sanya Mani, go ahead.
Dennis. Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so sorry I didn't turn my mic on. I thought it was on automatically. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. My take on Mashujaa Day is injecting is doing its thing, and where Morara is going to inject, it's also Kenya. Where Eric Omondi is going to inject, it's also Kenya or other people. So we're supposed to have that unity wherever we will be. And the only question, hope you can hear me. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I was saying, we are looking forward to have a celebration on 20th of this month to celebrate our heroes, and our movement is intact. And then we've been moving together with Morara and other people like Eric Omondi, other people like Okiya Mtata. They have been playing their part, and we want it that way. The only thing we didn't have, it was the bus that will carry us towards the change we want, and that was a political party. And as the things are right now, we have a political party need to inject, and that's why Marara is going wherever he is going to inject. Enrico Mondi is injecting wherever they're injecting. Anybody else, me, I'm somewhere else injecting where I'm injecting. The only thing that is the problem here is the communication. And as you had said, Marara is holding a space at a certain time. We will all go there and ask him these questions, because at my view, again, Marara filled a gap that not so many will be ready to fill that gap. Eric Omondi has done that too. Not so many will fill the gap Eric Omondi has filled. Okiya Mtata, Onyonka, and any other patriotic leader that has shown their stand on the people and the justice of Kenya. That's all I would say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis. I agree with you. I think I do agree with the fact that most people are angry about today. But I feel like, to be fair, let's not let our anger overtake the fairness of just agreeing and respecting somebody for what he has done or their contribution to the movement.
Yep.
And even Eric Omondi, I love the idea he came up with for Uhuru Park, and we respect that. And if you're in Nairobi, go to Uhuru Park. If you're elsewhere in Kenya and you want to go to Uhuru Park, go to Uhuru Park. But
Yep.
if you're somewhere else, you cannot make it. Start your own thing there. The
Yes.
movement does not have to be centered in Uhuru Park. So I agree with you in that regard. The next
Yes.
person is Sanya.
All right. All right.
Hi guys, I really concur with Mweru in that we need to give credit where it's due. Personally, when I saw that, I know Morara will be having a space around 8, but it's good just to mention it out. When I heard, first of all, he's going to Narok, I was so furious and a bit mad. I tried to get in touch to just find out what's happening. But apparently, I just got in touch with somebody who's close to him. First of all, let's not just throw stones, casting stones without knowing the real reason as to why he's doing so. First of all, I was with him in Bomas. As we all know that the public participation, it was something public, but the goons invaded it, and in one way or the other, we know what happened. From the information that I have, isn't that those ones, Eric Omondi is the one planning the event at Uhuru Park. And I know there are so many others who are also, in terms of planning, you cannot plan it alone. The other people were involved in planning the same. Please let them reach also out to Morara, because if he's trying to reach out to them, he doesn't want to come into an event that he seems not to be invited. Again, the replica, maybe what happened in Bomas in mind. I think he's also trying to be cautious, because if he's trying to reach out to those guys who are organizing and they're not responding, that also can make somebody, because also Kenya is big, that can make somebody to go in another place and do the same, because our clarion call is the same, that this leadership has failed us as young people, and we need to do something urgently, so as a waking up call. So let those ones who are organizing this event, I know he will be responding on his space, but let us not be like in the Bible, those ones who are for the first to throw stones at somebody who has made a bold step to just come and do what majority of us have not done. Let me speak on the power of unity. All of us, we have heard or we have read in the Bible about the Tower of Babel, described in Genesis 1, I guess Genesis 11 from 1 to 9, whereby all these guys, they used to speak the same language. Their unity of language allowed them to collaborate efficiently. They decided to build a grand tower so tall it would reach into the heavens. This means when we are united, when we stand with one voice, and when other leaders who have planned an event, they are accommodative of other leaders, that it means that there's nothing that can hinder us from achieving the desired goals of this movement. Another thing about the civic education, I saw Nonini was here, and we also have other singers, other guys who can do spoken word. If you are blessed, you can speak in your mother tongue. Me, I just know around 30% of my mother tongue. If you're blessed, you can do a civic education in your mother tongue. Please do it. Let's educate these people who come Ushago, so that at the end of the day, they're able to be enlightened about these things that are happening that are punitive. Yeah, so that's my clarion call. Let us, those guys who are planning this event in Uhuru Park, personally, I will be there. Please be accommodative of other leaders as well. Thank you, guys. Be blessed. God bless Kenya.
Thank you. And in the spirit of Mashujaa Day, I just want to give everybody their flowers that is doing anything towards, towards the movement and towards getting Ruto out, because Ruto is our enemy. And even for the lawyers who are here, thank you so much for even helping us translate these bills, understand how this legal system works, and giving us different perspectives so we can also understand that. So you're also our heroes as we proceed. It's not, the movement is not about one person, and that should be the mindset that all of us are heroes in this. So right now at this moment, I appreciate the lawyers who have been helping us with their legal perspective and all that stuff. The next speaker is Caris, but Wanjira, I saw you have your hand up. And actually, before I forget, tomorrow Adani is in court, and Wanjira posted the link.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, good evening. KOT and Mweru and other wonderful people. I'm so happy to hear and also to see what you guys are doing. I'm just requesting for the people of Mombasa, what can people do? Because Masja, it will be held in Kwale. We could like some people also to come over on this side so that we can be able to cause this thing not to be workable on their side, because already we have reported that it was yesterday they had a meeting at night concerning appointing a new deputy, and already they have selected, and today also there was some speculation about looking for how they can be able to end their process quickly, so that on Friday they can the party can have a schedule how they can be able to do the vetting for that deputy president who is to come to, so that he can be sworn in on that Friday in the evening. After that, on Sunday, so that he can receive the will, Mr. Ruto. So I think we needed to work out on how we can be able to rebel in all aspects. There is also another case. FBI, they revealed the money that they send in a personal account, which is 400 million 970 it was 497 8 480 497 7 480, which if you convert into Kenya shilling, it was 64 billion Kenya shillings, which it was transferred in account in Dubai. So you can hear how these people, they are working hard to be able to make themselves healthy, while someone in Turkana doesn't access services. When people who are diagnosed with various diseases, they cannot be able to be accepted in hospitals due to SHA, because SHA has been used as a transfer from the NHIF, but money they have not, they have put on their same or on their side, so that no one can be able to use that fund. What they are looking forward is to structure a new way of getting funds for SHA, but not to use the money that was used from NHIF. So we have to keep note that everything this person is doing, he is doing for himself and also to prepare himself in 2027. And also you heard about Senator Cheriot had suggested about term limit. And I think if it can be good, we can interpret the constitution in all languages so that everyone can be given a small book, so that anyone can be able to know he or her right, and also he can be able to defend the constitution as well. My another request is that about Morara. I have seen a lot he has been doing, but where he does a mistake, let us be open and to each other, and let us share what he is supposed to do, because there's some things that are being done which we don't also understand. But he's doing well, and also I advocated that all of us, we should fight for our country, because if you don't fight for our country, no one else will fight. It is only the political class will have to gain, because that is what they have been used to, and they used money to do whatever they want. And I want to reveal something about. I'm finishing. I want to reveal something small about the impeachment in Parliament. Already the money was dispersed. It was around 180 million, which 280 MPs who have been given, was being transferred in their account details. They are more to be revealed, and there is a lot. So you can't revoke, you can't assign someone to do all these things for the sake of your personal interest. Wote wanapaswa waende nyumbani. We don't want to spare any, because if you spare someone, it means he can do continuously what he wants.
Right.
And since they have done what is not right, they deserve to go home. Thank you.
Thank you for your submission. Dr. Nimad, you're next, but are you okay with Wanjira just responding? I see her hand is up. And also, as we proceed with this conversation, let's not forget Adani is in court tomorrow. If you have any questions or legal questions in regards to this case, we have Wanjira here, and we also had Baraka that can also assist in that regard with answering questions. So, Wanjira, just respond briefly, and then Dr. Nimad, you're next.
Muru, what I was going to say is actually it is good that you're really sensitizing people about the matter in court tomorrow, and there's also a lot of headway being made as regards the 20th. But I'd also like for you to add this to the list of things you're telling people, is that on the 25th, there's a public participation event happening in Senate in regards to the bill tabled by Samson Cherargei on the extension of term limits. We know that bill is going to essentially extend term limits for everybody that is elected in this country. So all the 6 people that we elect, starting from the president all the way to your member of county assemblies. What stands out to me in that bill is there's a vagueness as regards to how many terms of office there are. And I just want to say that it begins with extending term limits before scrapping terms of office altogether. So the 25th, there'll be starting at 9 a.m. There's a public participation. It was also gazetted. It was in our national newspapers, all the dailies. So essentially treat it as a public invitation by the Senate for a public participation on the 25th regarding that bill. Because then they're not going to do it the way they did it with Gachagua to ask us what our thoughts are. They're going to tack it somewhere in the national newspaper, and unless you have your eyes on the ball, you are going to completely miss it. So keep that in mind. The 25th, we are also going to Senate for that public participation so that we can hear what manner of madness overcame Samson Cherargei. Maybe it's not madness, it's just who he is. Why he thought that at this specific time it is a matter of national importance to extend term limits. That is what I wanted to add, Moiro.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up. 25th, public participation in regards to this term extension bill. We cannot allow a dictator to germinate while we are on our watch. No. So I appreciate you for bringing that up. So Dr. Nimaj, please go ahead, and then I'll have Pambazuka.
Thanks a lot, madam, for the space. KT, I hope you're good. Just before I lose the plot, from the information which the lady just came out, that is one thing which people are not taking advantage of. There's a lot of investigative journalism happening amongst this group of people, where we social media, we actually finding out a lot of stuff, and disseminating that information is where we kind of fall short, because we are on these spaces. When you're on these spaces and listening to this, and when you hear something like that, go to that person's wall and then share that, spread the word, because that's what we need to do. And another thing now, to jump into the main subject about Shomorara. I've been supporting this guy. I've been organizing, so trying to support him. But at the moment, history Narok, he put me on a back foot and start questioning a lot of things. I'm not saying, and then at first somebody said the same thing. He was angry. I was really mad. But then come to think of it, is we're failing short of understanding what actually we need to do. There's no problem, Morara honestly, going to Narok. But at the same time, the way he approached it, and even somebody mentioned about him now picking himself as a leader for the Gen Z or for the movement. I think that as much as I respect what he does and I support him, but unity is key. And unity, they don't have to be all of them at the same place. It's how they approach this. Because if this was an agreement between him and Eric Omondi and everyone else out there who's gonna be out there doing their own thing, you know, we could be singing one song and the message would be loud. But the division and the confusion of everyone thinking that I can do better, I know better. And that's the problem with Kenyans. Even we look at our parliament, our Senate, everywhere, even our leadership. It's about we have to come to the realization that we are the ones to pay the price. We are the ones to pay the price, and that's where I think we're fairly short as the people who are in this movement. And I call everyone, because by now I would have seen at least a meeting, maybe in KICC, of everyone who has got a vision of a new Kenya. The leaders who are out here making a lot of noise, who people are actually following. People like Morara, Onyonka, Omutata, Hanifa, you know. Why can't they set their differences aside and come? And then at least Kenyans, the country will start looking up to them and say, yes, there's possibility. But the fragmentation is costing us. And that's what people don't realize. And that's why I've always been trying to drum every ounce of my time out here, like unity is key. And unity, we have to set our differences aside. With that said, like, hopefully, ya Uhuru Park itashika, hiyo Morara, well, keep on spreading. And the other thing is, wherever you are true, we need to spread the word around. We cannot focus only on Nairobi. But we have to take into account that majority of the atrocities and the souls we lost took place in the capital city. That's where the impact was. We have to take cue on that too and pay respect to that too. So with that said, the Nairobi one needs to be advertised like massive. And the Morara one, same thing. Mombasa, there's a guy in Mombasa trying to do one. In this bunge la wananchi, hii Jacaranda, the clips I see online about this bunge la wananchi, akina Jakababa, or these guys, you know, these are the times how we should be holding these spaces now. Instead of going to these mikutano politicians and then they just drum up of what to tell us. These are the community, these are the citizen assemblies we should be forming now, taking cue of what is happening and spreading the word like the lady worship spread about that. Because I've been seeing it floating around and I've been sharing it too. I'm surprised who came up with that, you know, that notion of they can extend the term limits. How? With the state of the country. That means there's a disconnect between the country, the people, the future, and the people who are leading at the moment. And that's something really needs a really strong approach to kind of turn it around. The way people are approaching it, they're not approaching it correctly. And it's all because the egos, and I don't know, I fail to describe it because every word doesn't sound, you know, sound rosy. So we have to come together, and we have to start calling these people out now. If they want to change the country and lead us, they need to kind of realize that unity and communicating and working together is key in achieving the goal. Thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your input. And Pambazuka, please go ahead.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hope you can hear me okay. I just wanted to share a few thoughts here. I'm actually in the diaspora right now, and honestly, X spaces are great ways to conduct a revolution, but they're also great ways in the context of disinformation and propaganda to stir up anger among the proletariat, those from the working class or those in the marginalized backgrounds against each other. If you think about what we hear about the government bloggers who have been paid to create accounts on X, who have been paid to keep, manufacturing distrust and blame Okay? I know for a fact that here in the United States, I come on X and I see all of the ads pro-Trump, okay? Everywhere else, if it's on YouTube or whatever, there's more of a balanced approach because we have an election year, it's like 20 something days, okay? And you ask yourself, who is controlling the narrative? What we need to concern ourselves is have anger not as a response to false hope, but consolidate our narrative, have some ownership over the healing and the emotional truths that we need to hold on to our flag, Kenya. Stop bickering about who is at the finish line in terms of, standing up to the gift within them to lead, all right? That kind of envy and emotion is really part of what is eroding the solidarity. I have no problem with a Narok event, a Mashujaa Day event. Everybody brings something to the table. And I'm not going to hear any kind of discrediting of somebody who has jeopardized his life on behalf of a whole citizenry, including my 91-year-old mother who had no hope in June. And then following the mandamanos and all of this, be aware of the disruptions that are occurring right in broad daylight under your noses. For those of you who are calling out people on your timelines, how about you switch it up? Stop internalizing the elite's agenda, adopting that rhetoric of the powerful. We are all working class. Even me here in America, I'm working double, triple shift. Why? Because people need money in Kenya to pay for medical costs. We're all on the same page. You can't shape a new reality for Kenya by creating enemies. You're just buying into what the government is doing. That disconnect that the people talk about, that the public participation, and this is what's great about these X spaces, is because we have lawyers like Wanjira who are going to come here and raise a red flag and say, hey guys, there's this also. Sometimes you get tired emotionally because of everything that we are fighting on every battlefront, but at least we have some lawyers who are paying attention and saying, okay, there's this bill of extension of term limits. Thank you. This is what I want to hear, but I don't want to come on here and hear people wanting to have some control over their emotions and playing into historic grievances. This is a new day, people. It's a new day. Stop wearing down our youth. Stop wearing down our youth. All you people in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Just do what you gotta do and stop complaining. Support Morara, support Eric, support whoever you're supporting. Don't buy into the what you're playing right into the regime's hands, by the way. Okay, there's a TED talk you can listen to. It's all about disinformation and propaganda and how governments, particularly in systems driven by dictators, they use psychological tactics to divert the attention of the working class away from those in power. Hapa tunabika, huyu amesema hii, sikupenda vile ame-communicate. Na wewe unafanya nini? Wewe mwenyewe unafanya nini? So thank you so much for this opportunity. Mi niko kazini. Like I said, tunafanya kazi huku kwa bidii. And we're very grateful for people like Kotsonko, Mweru, Wanjira, all of you who are actively doing something, making a difference. I do want to talk about the healing and the spaces for emotional expression and healing, because there's a lot that people are not realizing that is happening. The breakdown of of people, young people who have given of themselves, the freedom fighters. They get tired. Hawataki kusikia hii mambo ya mwanamke anakuja hapa anamgombeza kijana ambaye ni 28 years old ati he's a leader. Na wewe una lead yourself then, okay? Where do you lead kwanza? Usitafute hii pedestal politics, unamweka mtu kwenye pedestal ili umtupie mawe. That's what they do here in America. They build people up in order to tear them down. Tunataka kuwa kama wa America. Sisi ni Waafrika bwana, mtakuwa kama Waamerika na hiyo narcissistic leadership that you are just envying. Anyway, I just get annoyed and I try to keep my mind, focused on the goal. We want to create spaces of healing, spaces of rejuvenation, because when all is said and done, and we have the new leadership in place, we want to celebrate a new Mashujaa Day. Tuwe wote washujaa, tumefight wote pamoja, tusiwe resentful of quote-unquote success stories. Ukiangalia watu sasa hivi wanapigania, whether kuna wale ambao, they are being questioned, but X spaces nakwambia, I'm telling you the honest truth, it's controlled narratives. Make sure you control your narrative on your page. So I'm just on my lunch break here. I wanted to come up. Mweru, thank you so much, and Kotsonko for hosting this space. I think we need to just be level-headed and stop internalizing other people's agendas, and to remember that we are commemorating heroes who fought not just in Kenya's liberation from British colonial rule, but now the modern day Washujas, that some of them we haven't even seen, they haven't been recognized. And then, they're everyday Kenyans who are making a difference. So let's be kind. Let's show compassion. Let's not buy into that narcissistic mentality of the leadership, those self-important people who only think about the sound of their voices. So asanteni sana, and thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts.
Thanks, Pamazuka. I'm so grateful for people like you who are from other generations. I'm not going to say what generation you belong to, but I know it's not millennial or Gen Z who come over and join us. We really appreciate
It's okay. I'm a boomer. I'm fine.
It brings in your perspective. But I do agree that just because you have a right to criticize, just because you have a right to do whatever you have a right to do, you should not operate from a place of entitlement. Let's all focus on what we're doing. What is your path in this movement? How can we be of help to you? And we nurture each other. Even if I have an issue with how you approach, that's fine. But the focus here is Ruto must go. And it's going to take all of us. All of us. I don't have the energy to fight Wanjira. No. I have the energy to appreciate her contribution, because that is how we move forward. That is how we grow. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from that, and then we grow from there. Now today we know, next year Mashujaa Day, we have an idea of what we should be working towards. It should not be a reason to villainize somebody. That's why I said I respect Eric Omondi for what he's doing. I respect every single person on this space or in Kenya who is doing something.